In the fall of 1963, President Kennedy made a trip to the Texas area for 3 days to essentially raise money for the upcoming campaign. Jim Hawkins was a member of Associated Press, so the day before Kennedy arrived, he asked his editor if he would be able to go down to an area where there wasn't any other coverage and make some dramatic pictures of Kennedy outside of the downtown area in Dallas. As the motorcade turned from Main onto Houston Street, he took a close-up view of President Kennedy and Mrs. Kennedy. Mrs. Kennedy is actually taking her hand to her pillbox hat. The car came to about 15 feet in front of him, and just as he was ready to shoot another picture of President Kennedy, he saw the effects of a bullet going through the back of the president's skull. And he said he froze at that moment. But his professionalism stepped in right away, and within a matter of several seconds, he went out to the curb and took this picture as the automobile rushed away. He could hear from one of the radios in the presidential vehicle that we've been hit, get us to a hospital. And he heard Mrs. Kennedy cry, "Oh, no, no, no." The people that you can see in this photograph includes Mrs. Kennedy, who was trying to retrieve something that we found out later was in fact a portion of the president's skull. And there you have the agent, Agent Clinton J. Hill. Hawkins was terribly shocked. He always recalled that this was one of the worst moments of his life.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Ele era jovem, bem parecido e rico. Foi o 35º presidente dos Estados Unidos. Com a mulher Jackie a seu lado, John Fitzgerald Kennedy encarna uma América moderna e empreendedora. Cercado de intelectuais, constrói um programa, a Nova Fronteira. Em casa, a luta é contra a pobreza que vitima 40 milhões. No estrangeiro, enaltece a superioridade tecnológica americana com a conquista do espaço. O assassinato de Kennedy deixa todo o planeta abalado. A polícia prende o suspeito Lee Harvey Oswald, ele próprio assassinado por Jack Ruby. 30 anos mais tarde, as circunstâncias da morte de JFK ainda dão origem a rumores e controvérsias. Richard Stolley, um jornalista da Life, foi incumbido de arranjar fotos do assassinato. Nenhum dos 67 fotógrafos acreditados tinha uma única foto. Stolley pagou $15 mil a um alfaiate de Dallas por uma película de 6 segundos.
This was such a huge event in American history that the demand and appetite for images, for photographs of any kind, was unbelievable. All the professional photographers were behind the presidential limousine, and they never got a single frame. All the photography that day was done by amateurs. That was one of the great ironies of this huge news story. And every photograph like this was flashed around the world within a matter of hours. Newspapers ran whole pages and pages of photographs from Dallas, from Washington, when the body came back to Washington, especially of the funeral 2 days later. And television, interestingly, television in many ways became a real force in reporting the news as a result of the assassination. When I look at that picture, in a way it says to me that American life will never be the same again. And in journalism, it had almost the same effect. Television came of age in a way that I don't think any of us could have imagined.
Richard Stack passou 10 anos a juntar fotos do assassinato de Kennedy. Ele conhecia James Altgans. Apesar de ter ganho o prémio de imprensa mundial, a fotografia teve poucos efeitos na sua vida.
Jim Hawkins was very comfortable with himself. He was a very gentlemanly individual who knew that he had been a witness to history, but knew that just because he was a witness to history didn't make him any better, nor did it necessarily give him any greater insights than anyone else had. I think the photograph and really the whole coverage, and for that matter, the event of the assassination of an American president seems to many Americans be that watershed event in which things that came after it only got worse for a long period of time. 1968 with the killing of Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, all of the riots that took place throughout the nation as well as the world, the horrors of Vietnam. Many social historians would look upon this as kind of the end of that phase of innocency by Americans.